And the dude does it. The crazy mad lad does it. He gets into the fountain and he realizes like 2 centimeters deep. He got like 1,500 subs. He goes, dueling wave. I was like, get out of here, bro. You know me. Oh God, what a weekend. Oh my God.
Draw your last pathetic card so I can end this, Yugi. My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba, but it does contain the unstoppable
dueling wave. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Excuse my voice, excuse my appearance, excuse everything because I am running on fumes. We're back here. It's Monday morning at the time of this recording. We're going through the entirety of this weekend, the entirety of the YCS Niagara, and I wanted to bring to you guys a giant story time, basically thematic overview of the entire weekend as a thank you for being patient, because I couldn't make much content last week. Only came out with the one video, so I think it's going to be pretty fun to go over this. But before we get into that, I need to just real quickly shout out, as usual, the Discord down in the description below. If you are tired of getting FTK'd every single match that you play at locals, regionals, YCS, etc., you want to have actual fun and interactivity, go to our Discord. We have our own format, own ban list. It's pretty sick. We got big changes coming up, and it's super fun. Tourneys every month. If that sounds really fun, interesting to you, go to the description down below, join us in the Discord, say hi, because we are waiting. So we'll see you over there. YCS Niagara, where do we begin? Maybe we start at the YCS prep. So since I wasn't able to make a lot of videos last week, I only had the one, I had to use a lot more of my time as kind of some last minute prep for the YCS. I didn't realize that during COVID, it's been a long time since I went to a YCS, since they haven't been in my area and I'm not about to pay money to go fly, especially in formats like this. But anyway, it was nearby enough where I thought it would be fun and worthwhile to try. So in the YCS prep, for the uninitiated, there's a card called Mulcharmy Furos, or Fualos, that dropped right before this tournament, the week of, which I've noticed has been a common occurrence with Konami, releasing really important sets with meta-breaking, warping cards right before giant tournaments like they did with Info and Fiendsmith. I don't know if it's to provide artificial scarcity for the cards, or if they just want to be especially annoying to me and piss me off. But I do think they plagiarize us because we hit all of those crazy cards on the ban list that they've banned recently, like the Omni Negates. So maybe Konami, if you're watching, please stop releasing stupid cards. Make Fuaros a rare like you did in the OCG. Let's not. I digress. I knew that getting Azamina and the Fualos would be really, really difficult, especially that kind of time frame right before the tournament. And the fact that they changed things during COVID, where you have to actually fill out your deck list and register like 6 o'clock Friday or some shit. I'm like, that's crazy, bro. Like before, I used to go to YCS before COVID. Like, you could just come and fill it out the day of. Like, I'm almost positive, right? But now we're having to do it, you can't even do anything last minute, where like sometimes you like to go to like a regional or whatever. You like to fill out your deck list the morning of, because I'd like to do some testing all the way till the wee hours of Friday. Ultimately, I wanted to settle on a deck that wouldn't lose to Fuaros, because I knew everyone would be main decking it, because we haven't had Maxi in so long. People are really excited to draw cards and basically just auto win going second. I wanted to take 2 choices that were sort of budget, that I had accessible to me, and that would not lose to Fuaros too badly. And so the 2 choices I narrowed it down were either Voiceless or Melodious. I felt that Branded wasn't the right call, because Fuaros really, it puts a lot of work in on Branded, and also we can't run hand traps. In today's format, if you can't run too many hand traps, you have to go all out board breakers. But the problem is Branded still doesn't have that much room for that many board breakers. You won't be able to draw multiples, which multiples are key in this type of format. Drawing one board breaker probably isn't enough. So I knew that I'd have to pick a deck that can have a lot of non-engine space and can run hand traps. And I chose either Voiceless or Melodious. And since I didn't have the Voiceless cards in yet, and I didn't trust the TCG player to be able to deliver these cards to me in the 40-day period that I would need them, because sometimes they take 2 freaking months to get you a freaking random common card that you were looking for, I narrowed it. I decided to go with Melodious. Both had their advantages, but I had Melodious on hand, so we decided to go with this. The rest was in a similar group. The rest of the group was in a similar position, except our boy Andre, who you've seen on the channel before. He was in that old anime deck tournament video style that went kaput. He ran Yubel. OG, another mainstay on the channel, ran voiceless, which low-key might be one of the best budget options for this format. Like, you play voiceless, you tech it out the right way, and some things break the right way for you, you could top legit easily with voiceless. Voiceless is a very strong deck. The only better budget option than voiceless might be Sky Striker, and I'm not even sure about that. It just might be that Ryan Yu guy is so good, but we'll get to that in a moment. But for this trip, we had a really nice surprise. One of our buddies, Gala, he decided, after 15 years of not playing the game, basically played Playground, old school Yu-Gi-Oh!, he decided to join us for the tournament, to make the trip, and to actually play. And this was going to be his first tournament in his life. His first tournament was going to be YCS. Yes, you heard this right. This man was using YCS Niagara as a warm-up for his Yu-Gi-Oh! Career. Now, I can hear you ask, well, what deck is he running? You know, the guy doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! And he's just hopping into it again. What deck is he on? What deck is this mad lad going to use? The only option was Majesty / Vanity's Fiend Turbo Monarch.
You
extra
win.
deck. We set this deck up. Me and OG did a lot of testing and theorizing for this deck just to give him a chance to have some wins under his belt. And the deck asks a very simple question of the opponent. It goes, do you have Imperm or a board breaker? No? Okay, we go to next game. So we drive out to Canada. We get to the border. The border, my God, Canada, we got to do something about that border. But we get to the annoying border. That takes way too long, and we get to our hotel. Not gonna lie, Niagara is pretty lit. This is my second time being there in the last 6 months, and it's a thoroughly enjoyable experience. It's like an American city, but you just season it with a little bit of Europe on there. And what I mean by that is you remove the McDonald's and the Marathon gas stations and put like mom and pop shops and like random food trucks and whatnot, like street vendors. You know, it's a pretty cool site, but I do wish that it didn't rain 25/8 in this area. But as we say, it is what it is. After checking into the hotel, getting to our room, getting settled in, and then boot camp drilling our boy Gala with the Monarch strategy and just kind of some of the intricacies that he would need to know to play and to get some wins, we decided to go check out the local scene.
2, 1. Derpę.
O, susz, proszę susz.
Wydawaj.
Many of you know that your boy here is Serbian. That's this country right here, and it's located right here. Well, luckily for your boy and the rest of my group, since a lot of them are Serbs too, there's a vibrant Serbian community in Niagara. Hello, so we decide to check it out. Go to a close by event hall and go have some fun. And boy, did we have a blast. After that, we stop at the local Texas bar, where just like the whole bar is just doing country dance music, hoedown, all this stuff, dude. It was crazy, awesome. All I drank was Molson Canadian, right? I don't know if there's a Molson of other countries, but it's funny that Molson's called Molson Canadian. At this point, it was very late, too late, way too late, unintentionally way too late. We drank an Olympic swimming-sized pool of beer and seltzers to this point, and our eyes were falling out of our faces. So essentially, the ideal warm-up lead-up to a YCS. You'll never play Yu-Gi-Oh! Better than on no sleep, hungry, hungover. It's the trifecta, the 3-card combo to get a YCS top. So, did it happen? It's not easy work, but someone had to do it. The morning of, we decided to walk over. We got our hotel next to the casino, so if we wanted to gamble, we had that option. And then we were just going to walk about 20-something minutes towards the venue. We get to the venue with our decks in tow, ready to go, tested, probably not anywhere near close to the amount of testing that we needed to actually succeed at this event, but we think best on our feet, so we're going to do it this way anyway. Our boy Gala didn't bring a book bag, so he took a brown paper bag that one of our buddies brought like some waters over for us and just stuck his deck box, his deck mat that we just let him borrow all this stuff into the brown paper bag and walked around looking like a freaking drug dealer. With our unbelievable amount of prep time and devotion to this game, we were ready for round 1. I sit down in my first round, and everyone's already sat down. They made the announcements, and my opponent is not there. I was like, wow, look at this, dude. Automatic win, dude. I get a win before I even sit down. So I'm sitting there waiting. Finally, right before the start of the clock, my opponent sits down and starts taking his stuff out. The judge comes by, tells us to take a pause because he signed up late. He was telling me that because he signed up late, blah, 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 that he was getting a game loss or whatever. I was like, cool, sweet. Looks like I get a win before I even like enter through the door. But he was a really cool guy. I think he's from Iraq. Well, from Canada, right? He's a local, but originally from Iraq. So it was cool. We vibed on that, bro. Being like both from somewhere else. So with an easy 1-0 lead in tow with 40 minutes left on the clock, the judge lets us start game 2. He gets to pick who gets to go first in game 2. We were off to the races. So he's playing the Kashtira, Yugioh, Fiend Smith pile, basically, and goes first, goes off. I drew 3 hand traps and hand trapped him at, I thought, pretty key spots in his combo, and the guy still made like full ass board. So yeah, I drew for turn. Didn't want to reveal what I was playing, and with 30-something minutes left on the clock, we decided to go to Game 3 without me revealing what I was playing, so that I could have that advantage in Game 3, and essentially I guarantee a victory. In Game 3, I start off, I make the Melodious board, have some hand traps in hand, my opponent goes, and he leads with Kashtira, which to this point he hadn't shown me the Kashtira. All he showed me was the Yugioh Fiendsmith stuff, and so dropping the Kashtira unicorn on my head was kind of a really tough pill to swallow. So he sets up the Kashtira cards. I interrupt him enough to stop him from going off. He tries to like tribute summon Fiendsmith, just crazy stuff's going off, and but I had enough interruptions to stop him from absolutely wombo coming on my ass and basically killing me right there out of the tournament, and gets back to me. We initiate into a grind game that just goes back and forth and back and forth, and finally we start doing some chip damage. And funny enough, this last game took like 30 minutes to complete. We actually, even with one game out, we still made it to time, and I didn't feel like either of us really slow playing. We're just thinking through our moves, and yeah, freaking we get the time, and I had done more damage than him, and he just scooped it up. So your boy 1-0 starts after round 1. Melodious, winning YCS 100%. It's on right now. The boys reconvene, and your boy was 1-0. OG with the Voiceless was 1-0. Andre was 1-0 with Yubel, and our boy Gala with the Monarch Stun was 0-1. But his first match was down. He said he had a good time and really enjoyed it. So we're going on to round 2. Next round, I had a match against Snake Eyes Azamina. This deck is absolutely insane. The amount of stuff that they can do is crazy. I drew only Herald of Orange Light for my hand traps, and he was able to full combo because he made the Azamina first, and then that functionally makes Herald absolutely useless. So I just kept him in hand and maybe saved him to maybe get my combo to go through. He makes his board. He makes like, I don't know, he just makes some crazy stuff. He made like Hope Harbinger of all things, which was really interesting because in the Melodious Azamina Snake Eyes matchup, like I wanted Flamberge to be possibly hitting the grave so I could banish him so he couldn't use its effects and just to get rid of his one Flamberge, but unfortunately he was hidden under the Hope Harbinger. He also ended up with like IP and like the Azamina Negate and all. So he had like literally everything. Somehow, so we rip off the top Herald of Orange Light, a second copy of all things. The rest was all engine, and we just go into his board. Full gas, we crack the whole board. Herald of Orange Light's actually really MVP for going second. Crack his whole board, do some damage, banish some graveyard, and then we get it back to him. But the problem is Azamina and Snake Eyes and everything has so much follow-up that it was just over at that point. Like once it got back to him, I couldn't kill him. He just set up everything fully. I don't have the follow-up that he does, and it was over. Game 2, your boy's starting off, drop Ostinato. So I drew Ostinato, some hand traps, and some like extenders. I drop Ostinato, and my opponent ashes. I activate Herald of Orange Light because this card's apparently the stickiest card in the game to my hand. Activate Herald of Orange Light to negate his Ash. He chains Furos. So this man kept Ash Furos in his hand, and instead of activating Furos to Ostinato, he tries to Ash, which was crazy, but it worked out for him really well. I don't know if he did this intentionally or if this was just like a blind accident, but the dude dropped the Furos after the Ash. Crazy to me. So I summon the Baka, and now on summon, I have to decide. So he gets the draw for the Baka. I have to decide if I want to summon the Shapina from deck so I can continue my combo. Do I play into the Furos? Do I not? So I decide to say, okay, screw it. I'm going to play into it because I'm down 0-1 and I need to. So I declare the effect of Baka, and the dude, instead of getting another draw, he Valors me. Ash, Furos, Valor. What is my luck, bro? But I figured, okay, he's down 2 hand traps, right? He drew the 1, right? Like, so he's down Furos and Ash. Let's say the Furos pays for itself, but he's still down Ash and Valor. So, and I do have the ability to float with the Baka once it's removed from the field into something else to be able to make more plays. So I set Power Sink Stone and Imperm. Power Sink Stone I sided in between games 1 and 2. to give myself an advantage because I knew Furos could be a possibility. And Power Sync Stone just lets me kind of take a turn and then get back to me so I can play. And I set the Power Sync Stone. On his turn, I activate Power Sync Stone. He special summons Witch, uses its effect to search. It's one activation. He then summons Droll and Lockbird. So yes, he drew another hand trap. Also, they kind of clash. Why did you have Droll and Furos? Whatever. He normal summons the Droll, uses the Droll to make Anima, and then links them away into SP. SP effect to target the Power Sync Stone. This is the second effect activation. So the way I understand this card to work, it's the you cannot activate more effects is a continuous effect. The acquiring of counters is a continuous effect. The moment that the effect activates, it immediately gets a counter. So to stop his SP, now that 2 effects have been activated, I activate Imperm. He chains the SP effect to a third effect. I call the judge over. The judge rules in his favor. I don't understand how that works, as they're both continuous effects. It doesn't interrupt the chain. It doesn't do that. It just says if an effect is activated, it immediately gets a counter. I don't know how we're making this difficult. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe correct me in the comments down below. Am I wrong about how Power Sync Stone works in this instance? I don't understand this game at this point. I appealed to the judge after the match because I let it go through. I didn't want to appeal to the head judge. I talked to my buddy said, ask another judge. I go to ask another judge, and the other judge ruled in my favor. So I don't understand. Yu-Gi-Oh is way too retarded. If Power Sync Stone has this kind of stupid, they should just ban this card because it's way too many ruling issues, in my opinion. This game is just so damn extra. And because the Power Sync Stone was removed, and my Imperm was just wasted now, his whole, Azamita Snake Eyes, one card gets through, it's over. So Snake Eyes Ash is stupid FTK. So that was round 2. Your boy's X1, OG is XO with the Voiceless. Andre with the U-Bell is X1. He dropped his second match also. And then Gala with the Monarchs, he is X2. But having a blast, which is what's the most important thing. Apparently, he was saying that Monarchs were kicking ass, the Vanities, the match, he was able to get it out. The deck was super consistent. If you guys want to see that deck profile, we can drop it on the channel if this gets enough likes. How many likes is that? Let's say 239. 239 likes, and we'll drop that Monarch list that Gala ran. But he was saying that he kept going against board breaker decks, which were just able to out the Fiend locks, and then, kill him from there. The next round, round 3, I play against Labyrinth. Really cool dude, really cool back and forth games other than game 2 where he just activated the D barrier and then it was okay, it's over, let's just go next game. Took that one 2-1, which is really nice. But more importantly, his buddy, dude named Dane, I believe, really cool dude, said he knew the channel. So this was the first in my life, the first time I was recognized off of YouTube. He goes, I think don't you have a YouTube channel? I was like, yeah, but I'm kind of small. I only got 1,500 subs. He goes, Dueling Wave. I was like, get out of here, bro. You know me. I was like, this is sick. So I was really hyped. Probably should have took a picture with the guys. They were really cool. Just wasn't it wasn't in my mind at the moment, plus I had to turn in my match slip. But yeah, shout out to you, bro. You guys were cool as hell. Probably my favorite moment of the entire tournament there, the round 3 matchup. So if you guys are watching, comment down below and just say what's up. We're going into round 4 at this moment. I'm X1, OG's X1, Andre's X2, so he's on the precipice there, and Gala with the Monarchs is X3, but still having fun, which is the most important thing. I match with a Dragon Link player in round 4. And this is where things just kind of went off the rails, unfortunately. I felt really good about my deck. I felt really good. Things were really going well. I was drawing hand traps. I was drawing engine. It was really nice hands. I did a lot of testing with theory, with probabilities, and just doing test hands. And everything was looking really, really good in testing. But then the brick hands just came. And from here on out, starting with this round, I drew... my first hand was Ostinato, Ash, Imperm, Droll, right? Ash, Imperm, Droll. Yeah, it's 5 cards. I win the dice roll. It's really nice. I go Ostinato. He ashes me. I pass because what are you going to make with that hand? Then he activates. I forget what card he activated. I droll him on his search. I think it was on Lubellion or something. I droll him on the search, and then he still makes seals, passes it back to me. I drew nothing. I just kept drawing hand traps, bricked like crazy, got really frustrated, and then I just after I tried pushing it for a few more turns, but it wasn't working, so just scooped it up, went to next game. Now game 2, I open up Ash, Imperm, Veiler, Valor Aria. The deck just failed me. I don't know what it is. I thought the ratios were really well like constructed. Didn't, probably honestly, I knew this would be my luck. I've been running like 3 Sonata, 3 Soprano up until this point, and before the tournament I was like, I gotta cut these 2. I don't want to brick on them. I should have ran them more. They actually are really good in combo together. You can normal special and then just start making plays without even drawing an ostinato, but I was an idiot. I cut the ratios. I was looking at a lot of decks that had been topping recently and didn't want to make a mistake of bricking myself on too much engine. Guess what? I bricked on too much non-engine. So we drop round 4, unfortunately. Now, your boy Wave is X2. We're on the precipice now. We're going into round 5 with, things are teetering as we speak. OG is still X1. He is cooking with Voiceless. Probably should have gotten Voiceless myself and just ran it for this tournament because I thought it was a really solid meta call. Once me and him kind of like theorized a little bit and talked, he really had a good point about how it plays around Furas so well that probably should have been the deck pick. Andre at this moment just got caught. Like, he just had bad matchup after bad matchup after bad matchup. He got he lost like some Chimera 60 card FDK pile, Plant 60 card FDK pile that drew back-to-back games, drew double Furas, which was just like unbelievable. And then his third loss was to getting shifters back-to-back games. So it was just like, I felt him. It was tough, but man, it just looks so bad when you blow like $600, $700 on a freaking deck and then just get cooked. Maybe Yu-Gi-Oh isn't pay to win. Psych! But most importantly, our boy Gala stays X3 because the dude gets his first Yu-Gi-Oh tournament win ever. First tournament win, like match win, not a tournament win. He won his first match in almost 2 decades against any opponent, period. Like house kitchen format kind of stuff, right? He got his first dub. So give our boy some love. Anyone that's still around, go down in the comments. Shout out Gala. Tell him Monarchs, baby. Put that in the comments because we need to show him some love. This dude's trying to get back in the game, and I think we genuinely have a new guy to the group, a new guy in the Yu-Gi-Oh community because of how much fun he had at this tournament. And all of this with a deck from 1948. Let's go to round 5. Everything's riding on this. Make or break. If you can sometimes in these tournaments get past round 5, things can kind of break open for you. And then like you can just keep the winning going. Kind of like how I did at the Indie Regionals to get that top 32 spot. And so I really knew this was like the make or break key situation. We do the dice roll. He wins the dice roll, but makes me go first. And so I was like, oh God, it's Tenpai. And I have Elegy in the side deck to be able to protect from destruction. But I was like, dude, you know what? Screw it. Let's just make the standard board. I have Elegy for games 2 and 3. For right now, I'll just focus on making the best board that I possibly can against board breakers. I draw, and your boy bricked again. It was, again, Ash, Imperm, Valor, Droll, and then like Aria, I believe. In game 1, it was an Aria hand. And so I just pass. And he's like shocked. And I was like, here we go, dude. I'm about to get murdered. Like, he's about to put on 34,000 damage with Tenpai. No. Dude's playing Sky Striker. Lucked out huge. Guy summons Hayate. Foolish Barrels engaged. Does 1,500 damage. And just like passes turn. Like Shizuku Search and whatnot. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to survive. I draw again. Nothing. Pass again. He goes again. Tries to set up more draws, more this and that. I'm interrupting with the hand traps, and then he does another 1,500 damage, gets back to me again. Finally, I can start making plays, and we engage in a grind game. But at this point, if you know anything about Sky Striker, if you get to turn 4, 5, 6, that deck will slow roll your ass out of the game. You don't have enough hand traps to be able to deal with this, unless you can make your full combo and like not let them play whatsoever. And unfortunately, I could not do that. Because it was like couplet, like 2 double couplet, like concerto or whatever. It just wasn't working. So I ended up getting outgrinded that game. We go to game 2. I set up Melodious board, make like full combo. And then he goes, I banish his, I play Shumberta control because it's really strong against Sky Striker and like just banish Soul Graveyard. He can't like float with Ray. He can't summon on my turn the Kagari. Can't get more advantage. And so as a result, I take that game. And then game 3, he goes first, sets DDG and like does his Sky Striker stuff, sets DDG, goes to me. I activate Ostinato. He DDGs it, but I still summon Baka. And then, we start playing back and forth, and it was a really grindy game. I think it was like 10 turns, but at the end, just losing all my resources in the early game because I had to commit because we were close to time. It wasn't turn 10, it was maybe like turn 6, but like still, we were so close to time that I had to commit with that ostinato. I couldn't just pass and let him, do whatever. Maybe I should have just summon like Baka, and then maybe summon like Refrain, get a search and pass. But in those moments, you kind of like are weighing a lot of different variables, and I kind of committed too much into the DDG, and as a result, I had no resources for any kind of follow-up. And then my opponent uses Typhon, bounces like my only monster on the field. I think it was a Shuberta, and it was all she wrote for there, because time was called and he was able to do 2,900 damage there. And your boy's X3. Hello, darkness, my old friend. So at this moment, at a few options I was weighing, and I just decided to drop from here, go support my boy OG, who was X1 still at this moment with Voiceless, cooking up a storm, baking everybody, he was absolutely annihilating everybody. Skull Guardian Negate Turbo was in full form. The next round, he plays against, I believe it was Plants, and I think the same guy that beat Andre, actually. And he does lose that game because the first game, he lost dice roll, Plants went first, and if you know anything about Plants, game 1, FDK. And then game 2, he bricked on hand trap, so he had the dueling wave special. So he drops to X2, we go to the next round, and he plays against Azamina Snake Eyes. And this is like right on the bubble, and like game 1, he goes first, and the opponent was main decking Droll. So he plays right into Droll. He didn't really have much options, but he kind of had to do it, and so he ended up having to pass. The opponent then makes full Snake Eyes Azamina crap and kills him. Game 2, he's going first again, gets Perulia, which if anyone knows anything about Voiceless, Perulia is full Ross against Voiceless. And he actually was able to draw into like a sided in an anti-spell, sets up the anti-spell, passes. The opponent then can't play through the floodgate, passes back, and then he's able to make Voiceless voice board and control the game from there. And in this grind game, was able to squeeze out the victory. And then in game 3, the opponent goes first, makes full Snake Eyes Azamina combo, and then passes it back like through hand traps. He makes his full combo, passes it back to OG. OG goes, activates like Ultimate Slayer to try to crack board. Ultimate Slayer pitch like Fair Jeet will like draw one, put one back. And after that gets drolled, and it's just like the rest of his hand was like Nadir Servant, like searching cards. So it's like it was over. He passed it back, and the guy just went like 400 summons and ended up winning the game. And going that hot, going 4-1 to start the tournament, and then dropping 2 matches back to back thanks to like really unfortunate tournament events. Just how it is in some of these YCSs, some of these big tournaments. You do need a little bit of luck, right? Unless you are, one of those Pac level, Jesse Cotton level players that they contest, 10 hours a day, because this is partly like their job. And when you can commit that much time, you can see kind of the things that develop in the format, different intricacies where you can take advantage of those intricacies, and those go a long way to get you dubs, Like I saw, Pac made day 2, Jesse Cotton made day 2. All these guys did make day 2 because of their ability to invest in the game, their time, which is probably something that we needed more of. But like we've said on the channel, your boy's got a family. It's kind of hard, to justify to your wife, hey, I'm gonna go test Yu-Gi-Oh for like 10 hours every day. But hey, we were so close to glory. At least one of us. If one of us wins, we all win. That's the way this works. But hey, ish happens. We were so close to glory. So afterwards, now to get to the more fun parts of this weekend. Day 1 was basically in the books for us. So we decided to go back to that Serbian event because it was a date like that, a 2-day thing, partying. And we took that shit over to drown out our sorrows. Gala of the Hot Monarch performance decided to literally become the main singer of the night. Like literally the singer was like, dude, you take the mic, and he took the mic and just killed it for the rest of the night. After that, we went to the club, which was kind of ass, but hey, it is what it is. We did see what I thought was Yassine, but it probably is Yassine's long lost brother. We'll call him Handsome Yassine. He's in the club just smacking on chicks. Now on the walk home, after going to the club, we were deciding maybe to go to that Texas bar again and just see people go like, no, I'm in Cotton Eye Joe. We decided to walk in that general direction, just go like, hey, maybe we go to that bar. On the way, we were deciding whether we go home or whether we go to the bar. Just like random conversation just starts happening between OG and the 4th guy in our group, who was in our room, Vlad, who doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh, but he came to gamble and just drink and have a good time. And like the debate was, would OG pay him like $200 for him to dive into the fountain in front of like this hotel? And OG was like, I'll do it. I'll give you $200 if you do it. And Vlad said, all right, let's go. This man, some random girl comes by and he goes, would you do this? Like, you'll see the clip. I'll put the clip right here. And the dude does it. The crazy mad lad does it. He gets into the fountain and like he realizes like 2 centimeters deep. He couldn't just fucking dive head first into a fountain. So he just lays down. And I was like, dude, flip over. We got to bake both sides. Now this dude was drenched, soaked, but theoretically maybe $200 richer. Unless OG said, fuck that. Was he joking? Unless OG was joking. But hey, also, he did get that girl's number and talked to her for a little bit. So good for him. He got wet, maybe got pneumonia, but great success. After that, we decided screw the other bar because dude's like drenched, like he just took a shower. So we're gonna walk through like random ass fields, and like we took the weirdest way ever, and there was like mist and rain and just, like, oh god, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get sick from this just thinking about it. And we made it all the way through this, like, bro, in the middle of like, it was like 2 a.m. just walking through these random ass fields in Niagara, and right by the water too. Like the falls looks really cool at night. And then we made it back to the spot, got some late night McDonald's from the Uber Eats driver. I believe like Gala went down to get it, and he like tipped the driver like $20 Canadian. And like, I don't know if you guys know anything about like Canadian money, but you got like Queen Victoria on there, and he was like, it's like, here's this 20. I hate this. and the driver like died laughing because everybody hates the British. Just kidding, guys. Don't get mad at me. This is all jokes. But after that, bedtime like 3 a.m. Slept in till like 10. Went back to the event. Hung out, checked out like Top Cut, watched our boy Andre win a regional flight, got his invite with that same deck that went X3 randomly. So that deck profile will be coming in hot sometime this week, or maybe on the weekend. And we got a chance to see some of the Top Cut matches. I think that Pac was on like Centurion Bestial or something, so it's really, really interesting. Wasn't playing the top degenerate helmet decks. And I do believe that Ryan Yu made it all the way to the finals with Sky Striker. And he ended up, getting second place to, I believe, Landon. I think this is his first victory with Fire King Snake Eye Azamina. So shout out to him. Shout out to the top 2 guys. Shout out to everybody in the Top Cut. The whole tournament was really cool. Really enjoyable time. Canada was a blast. Really enjoyable. Always enjoy going up there. And it's where I had my bachelor party in like Toronto. It was sick. And then after that, drove home, stopped at a literal Indian reservation and ate like street tacos from like this food truck, and then made it back home. And now I'm in all sorts of pain and tiredness, and my eyes and my head and everything feels awful, but it was all worth it to go X3 at YCS Niagara. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to this whole entire story. If you enjoyed something like this, if you enjoyed this type of story style video, don't forget to subscribe down below and give this a like, because I really enjoy storytelling, and I thought this weekend was worthy of like a recap, especially in video form. So for anyone that likes it, please like it. Comment down below what you think. Comment if you'd like to see more of these type of videos in the future. And thanks for listening to my story. And I'll see ya as always.